someone like you. My world was heavy, my skies weren't blue. I kept my distance, I built a wall, but you were steady through it all. I didn't know how love should feel. I questioned if any heart could heal. You didn't run, you didn't ask, you just stayed true through every task. You loved me anyway, when I was hard to hold, when all I gave were nights too cold. You stayed with me through every part, you saw the light inside my heart, even with all my scars and rain. You loved me anyway. I tried to fix what I had broken, but I had no words left unspoken. Still you believed I could be more, and gave me something worth living for. You love me anyway, with patience and with grace. You never let me lose my place. Even when I pulled away, you brought me back without delay. Through all I did and didn't say, you love me anyway. Now every day I look at you and thank the stars for what is true. You never asked for something new. You loved me just for being me, and that was all you had to do. You loved me anyway, when I was unsure. You showed me love that stays pure. You saw the best inside the pain and helped me learn to live again. So here I am, and here I'll stay, 'cause you love me anyway. Yes, you love me anyway. I wasn't strong, I wasn't sure. My heart was tired, it had no cure. I lost my way, forgot to feel, but you stepped in and made it real. I didn't smile, I didn't trust. My world had turned to clouds and dust, but you saw light inside my eyes and helped me stand and realize you loved me anyway. When I was far from home, you saw the cracks and still gave me your soul. You didn't run, you didn't hide, you stayed right there by my side. Through every fear, through each hard day, You loved me anyway. I kept my heart behind a door, afraid to feel, afraid of more. But you were kind, you stayed so true, and little by little I leaned on you. You loved me anyway, when I was hard to reach, when words would fail and I couldn't speak. You held my hand, you made me see that love is here inside of me. You gave me hope, you chose to stay. You love me anyway. Now I know what love can be, not just a dream, but something free. You gave your heart with nothing to do, and now I give mine back to you. You love me anyway, when I had lost my name. You saw the fire behind the flame. You brought me peace, you gave me grace. You never let me lose my place. And now forever, come what may, I love you just the same way. Yes, you love me anyway. I wasn't easy to hold that night. My words were wrong, my heart wasn't right. I turned away, afraid to feel, but still you stayed so calm and real. I carried weight from years before. You knocked, but I closed every door. Still you stood outside with care. You didn't leave, you stayed right there. You loved me anyway, through every fight and fall. Even when I gave you nothing much at all, you didn't ask me to pretend. You were my start, you were my end. I pushed you back, you chose to stay. You loved me anyway. I broke some things I couldn't fix, made up of fears and little tricks, but you saw through the mask I wore. Help me be much more than before. You love me anyway, through all the highs and lows. You held me up when I was feeling took the hurt and loved me just the same. You didn't need a perfect line, you just gave me all your time. And now I know I'm here to say I'll love you every day. You love me anyway. And I won't let that fade away. I was broken, I was lost in the dark, carried shame like a mark on my heart. I tried to hide behind a smile each day, but you saw through me in your quiet way. I pushed you back, afraid you walk away, you held on when I had nothing to say. You gave your hand when mine was cold and weak, and found the words I was too scared to speak. You loved me anyway. Through every tear I cried, you stood beside me when I ran and tried to hide. Even when I failed, even when I fell, you loved me anyway, more than words could ever tell. You didn't ask me to be someone new, you just stayed and showed me what is true. I never knew a heart could be so kind, but now I know love can heal time. You love me anyway, when I was hard to hold, when all I gave was silence and the nights felt cold. Even when I broke, even when I strayed, you loved me anyway and never walked away. Now I see myself the way you do. Through your eyes, the sky is always blue. You gave me strength to stand and stay, and I thank you more with every day. You loved me anyway, no matter what I lacked. You stayed through every storm and never turned your back. Even when I hurt, even when I ran, you loved me anyway, and now I understand. You love me anyway, and I love you every day. I wasn't easy to understand. My thoughts were scattered like grains of sand. You reached for me when I pulled away. Still, you chose my heart to stay. I had walls built high and wide, hiding parts of me I kept inside. You didn't ask for me to change. You held on through all the strange. You loved me anyway. When I was hard to hold, you gave me warmth when the nights felt cold. Even when I turned my face, you stood with care, you gave me grace. I never thought I'd see the day, but you loved me anyway. I spoke in ways that made no sense. I pulled away, I built a fence, but you come and stayed so near. You saw the truth behind each fear. You loved me anyway. Through every rise and fall, you kept your heart open through it all. Even when I pushed too far, stay right where you always are. With every doubt I threw you away, still you love me anyway. Now when I look at where we've been, I see your love beneath my skin. You never gave up through the pain. You stood with me in sun and rain. You love me anyway. Even less than that, you gave your best and loved me too. Even when I lost my way, you stayed and helped me find the day. Forevermore, come what may, I'll love you the same way. You loved me. Anyway. I wasn't proud of who I'd been. I tried to hide my thoughts within. I kept my heart behind the wall, afraid to rise, afraid to fall. I didn't know how love should feel. I questioned what was fake or real, but you just looked at me and stayed and didn't ask for me to change. You loved me anyway. Through every storm and tear, you didn't leave when I was filled with fear. Even when I lost my way and had no strength, you reached for me and chose to stay. 'Cause deep, you love me anyway. I spoke too sharp, I walked alone, believing I could stand on stone. But you gave peace without word and held me close till I was hurt. You loved me anyway. When I was hard to reach, you gave me more than words. You love me anyway. Now I understand. Love doesn't always need. Your sympathy through every fight. You brought me home and gave me life. So here I am and here I'll stay. You loved me anyway. Yes, you loved me anyway. I made mistakes I can't erase. I wore regret upon my face. I walked away from better days, but still you loved me anyway. I held my fears too close too long. I couldn't tell where I belonged. You gave your heart with no demand and never let go of my hand. You loved me anyway through every wrong I chose. You saw the good when no one else got close. Even when I turned from you, you stayed and helped me make it through. No matter what I couldn't say, you loved me anyway. I didn't trust the light I saw. I lived behind a wall of flaws, but you had faith I'd find my way. You stood beside me every day. You loved me anyway through every doubt and fight. You held your ground when I lost sight. Even when I broke apart, you still believed inside your heart that I was worth the price to pay. You love me anyway. Now I see the life we've made, the little steps, the price you paid. Give me hope I never knew, and now my heart belongs to you. You loved me anyway when I was hard to hold, when everything felt dark and cold. You stayed through every rise and fall. You answered when I made no call. Forevermore I'm here to say you loved me anyway. And now I love you every day, the way you loved me anyway. I wasn't kind to my own heart, pushed people out, kept them apart. I thought no one would ever stay, but you love me anyway. I didn't smile like others do. I hid my truth, I walked right through. But you saw something worth the fight. You brought my days back into life. You love me anyway. When I had lost all hope, you held my hand and helped me cope. Even when I turned from you, you stayed near and pulled me through. You didn't ask me to repay. You love me anyway. I spoke in ways that made no sense. I built a wall, I climbed the fence. You stood strong, you didn't go. You cared for me more than I know. You loved me anyway. When I was not my best, you gave me peace, you gave me rest. Even when I closed the door, you knocked again and stood once more. No matter what I didn't say, you loved me anyway. Now every morning when I rise, I see the truth behind your eyes. You gave me what I didn't earn. You stayed when I had much to learn. You love me anyway. Through every fight and fall, you caught me when I lost it all. Even when the nights felt long, you stayed close and made me strong. I never thought I'd see the day, but still, you loved me anyway. Yes, you loved me anyway.